Morning, guys and girls, and I'm in beautiful Mandarin, and you can see that there is I'm kind of in the well, obviously I'm next to the estuary, right? There's lots of boats here. It's very quiet and peaceful today, and there's this beautiful energy, and I wanted to chat to you today about self-love and looking after yourself. And what does that mean? Because, you know, we bandy it around a lot and we talk about it a lot, and really it's making the right choices for self. Whether there is something in your life that's not working, or you feel like you're being treated in a disrespectful way, whether it's in relationships, in the workplace, with family. I mean, we can have all sorts of dynamics going on around self with relationships. And I think sometimes they're our hardest thing to figure out and to sort out, yeah. And we can have disappointments and things that didn't work out. And I think when we have those kind of moments, it's that beautiful opportunity to step back a little bit and go, okay, so something in my life happened that was disappointing. It might have hurt my heart chakra, might have hurt my emotions or my ego, my sense of self-worth, self-confidence, which hopefully you get to a point where you're so strong that you can withstand anything and it doesn't impact how you feel about yourself, yeah? And it's really, how do you bounce back from that, and how do you come back to that beautiful place of inner peace, of really appreciating your value, your worth. And there are some practices that you can do, and I kind of wanted to chat to you today about those. And I think that there's always, it always comes back to our self-talk, what we're saying to ourselves on a daily basis. And we can have so much chatter going on in our heads, so much chatter, like it can be non-stop. And we can recycle through things, and we can focus on problems and, think about, we should have done this, or we should have done that, or, why did I make that choice? And sometimes people surprise us and we don't see things coming. Yeah. So in those kind of instances, you can't really, there's no blame game going on. But how do we deal with it, and how do we come back to that beautiful appreciation of self? And one of those ways is that self-talk. And we have to be very mindful of what we say about ourselves, what we say about situations, not to get stuck in illusions, not to constantly be, you've got to release. And I talk about this a lot in terms of release attachments. And what does that mean? We can hold on to stuff, and we can hold on to experiences versus going, well, that was a learning experience, or that was the universe going not that way, in terms of that. You're being protected, and it's not healthy for you. And I was walking along today thinking, and I'm just going to say to you, the energy here today is just so beautiful. And I'm thinking, we're never alone. Sometimes, if you're not in a relationship, or you're feeling a little bit isolated from people, and you may be a little bit introspective, and you're not much of you're not an extrovert, but you have that, your natural place is to sometimes withdraw and just enjoy your quiet time and your peaceful time. But we're never alone. We've always got spirit watching over us. We've always got that sense of the universal source energy that we can all tap into, yeah? And I think it's very important that you get to a place where you, in terms of self-love, you are comfortable being alone, because sometimes when you're being in a state of neediness, right, you're not comfortable with yourself. If you're constantly feeling like you need to jump from one relationship to another without healing self or creating balance, that neediness means that you're not comfortable within your own skin, and you're not comfortable with your situation, and you're not really balanced. You're out of balance. And how do you find that balance and that strength to go, no matter what, I'm okay. If I'm with someone or I'm on my own, I'm okay. And I think it also comes down to having things that you're really passionate about, that really light you up, your interests, your creativity, your passions. Forging great friendships. If you're somebody that isolates yourself, well, maybe you need to stop isolating yourself and creating some really strong friendships, because, as humans, we were born to connect. And it might be getting out of your comfort zone and joining a networking group or a social group or some sort of sporting activity, yeah, and getting comfortable in those spaces. And, I think if I can say anything to you in terms of being comfortable in your own skin, we can all have these kind of paranoia about our own physicality, our bodies, whether we feel good enough in them. And, I had a history of yo-yo dieting I used to be a model way back when, right? I used to do modelling. And back in those days, we had to starve ourselves, literally. We were expected to be a ridiculous, tiny, thin, right? Things have changed, but, we literally starved ourselves to be that thin. And then they're going, oh, you need to lose another 5 pounds or 5 kilos. And you're going, really? From where? from where? So I got into this yo-yo dieting and I was never really that comfortable about my body. And I look back now and think, oh my God, I was so slim, right? What was I thinking? But you can be on these kind of, somebody could say something and it can be deeply impactful about how you feel about your body. And I've learned to become really comfortable in my own skin. And how do we do that? Well, it's about pushing yourself out of your boundaries. And if you have a look at me today, I'm in my gym gear, right? Walking around. I have been to the gym and I'm thinking, well, I could put a top on, but actually it's such a beautiful day and it's quite warm and beautiful here. And I just want to feel for my freedom. Yeah. So I don't give a toss what anybody thinks about me. But I didn't always feel like that. And I was self-conscious. And, what I did in terms of getting out of that headspace was I would go to the beach and then I would I'd get in a bikini and I'd go in for a swim and I'd walk the whole length of that beach in my bikini and go, you know what, I don't care how I look or feel or what anybody thinks about me in my bikini. And, it was so liberating and I don't think I'd ever felt like that. I hadn't gotten out of my own headspace because it's in our headspace. So I'm going to challenge you in terms of self-love, if you're being self-conscious about yourself in any way, because this is such a liberating exercise to do, is to challenge yourself to releasing those inhibitions about your body and dressing how you want to dress and feeling that sense of freedom. I mean, don't go naked in the streets because nobody wants to see that, my loves. But I'm talking about feeling really comfortable, yeah, and just appreciating how amazing you are. And I guess what I also want to say to you is that you all deserve a beautiful love. Oh, something really noisy is coming along. And you deserve to be happy, and you deserve to be in situations where you feel loved and appreciated, whether it's within family, whether it's in your love relationships, whether it's with your children. In those kind of dynamics with children, we do have to foster those relationships and create a lot of strength in those relationships. Oh, there's a bit of construction going on, darlings. They're dropping stuff. And let's just bear with it. Yeah, bear with it. So it's really knowing your worth and appreciating your worth and your value and reminding yourself of your worth and your value and not staying in toxic situations when they're upsetting your emotions and your heart space. I mean, we all have to deal with challenges in a practical way and not run away from them. But it's not really about that. It's like removing yourself from situations that are unhealthy and making wise choices for yourself. That's all about self-love, yeah? Taking that time for self, doing your exercise, pampering yourself, buying yourself a face mask and having a bubble bath. Or this morning I had my music on really loud in the house. My puppies were a little excited because I was dancing from my bedroom through to the kitchen while I was getting them the breakfast and then dancing back. And then I went to the gym. Oh my God, I had so much fun. I had my stereo on, full bore, all the way to the gym. I had dance music on. Think about what you can do to light your own world up and to practice that beautiful sense of self-love, self-worth, and watch that self-talk. All right, my loves, how amazing is this view? Let me see if I can show you. I'm in the canals, which is gorgeous. There's quite a bit of construction going on because the new apartment's going up, but it's so beautiful. All right, have an awesome day. Bye.